The movie starts with a man approaching Russian mobsters who have procured the chemical weapon Nava for him and are ready to sell it for an enormous sum. However, just as the seller takes out the car key, he suddenly dies. The man eliminates the remaining guards and burns the pavilion. At that moment, Ethan wakes up at home. His girlfriend Nora is overjoyed because they are expecting a baby, but Ethan has other concerns. His employer has assigned him another shift. He promises Nora they will celebrate another day. Ethan has always wanted to achieve more in life, but it hasn't been kind to him. Nora, on the other hand, is content with their life and dreams of Ethan returning to the police academy. Ethan promises to think about it. When they arrive at the airport, a man bumps into Ethan, but he is running late and rushes to his job. As an airport security officer, Alani explains they've received a warning about counterfeit tickets, and that their detectors will help identify the fakes. Ethan learns that his colleagues are aware of Nora's pregnancy and are happy for him. He asks his boss, Phil, for a promotion, but Phil tells him he needs to show more initiative. Good performance alone isn't enough. Jason, a colleague, suggests that Phil transfer Ethan to his position to give him a chance to prove himself. Meanwhile, criminals have already infiltrated the airport and hacked the surveillance cameras. Phil gives Ethan an opportunity to prove himself by inspecting passengers' belongings. The criminals, unaware of a staff change, break into Jason's apartment and take his family hostage. A hacker monitors the situation through cameras and gathers information about Ethan, perceiving him as an easy target due to his lack of promotions. Among passengers' belongings, Ethan finds an earbud and plans to take it to the lost and found department. However, he receives a text message instructing him to put it on. A criminal on the other end offers him a deal. Initially, Ethan thinks it's a prank by his colleagues, but the criminals use receipts in Nora's name to track her down. When Ethan attempts to call 911, Traveler orders him to hang up, threatening Nora's life. Ethan complies and leaves his phone in the lost and found department. Meanwhile, police, led by Elena, investigate the pavilion fire. They recover a federal tracker from one of the mobsters, but it's severely damaged. Elena knows someone who can decrypt it. Ethan tries to remain calm, though he's tense. Traveler demands he stay composed to avoid jeopardizing their operation. Ethan attempts to record a voice message through his watch, but the hacker notices and forces him to place the watch with the phone, warning him there will be no further chances. Alina's colleague works on decrypting the tracker, but the data is illegible. Ethan occasionally hears strange noises through the earbud and tries to determine Traveler's location. He eventually spots him, but a passenger distracts him. Ethan calls Alani to hand over a ticket with a clue, but Traveler disappears. When they collide moments later, Alani dies within seconds. Ethan blames himself for Alani's death. Traveler becomes curious about Ethan's ingenuity with the ticket clue. He instructs Ethan to let a man in a red cap pass through security. Meanwhile, Phil suspends Ethan, replacing him with Jason. To turn the situation around, Ethan secretly mixes alcohol into Jason's coffee cup. When Phil discovers the alcohol, Jason is fired. Ethan notices a suspicious bag flagged by the scanner. At the same time, Elena deciphers the noises. Discovering they are related to Nava, a poison with no antidote, Ethan hesitates to act, fearing for Nora's safety. Feeling unwell, he heads to the restroom where Traveler confronts him with a gun. Traveler admits his plan to eliminate everyone on the plane but denies being a terrorist or executive, describing himself as a controller for hire. Ethan tries to learn who hired him, but Traveler warns him it's better not to know. He promises Ethan and Nora will be free once the plane takes off. Federal Agent Oakland advises against creating a scandal over the damaged tracker, but a 911 call from Ethan's phone is detected. Police order a passenger inspection. Phil disconnects communications and creates a list of 50 passengers for random checks. Ethan discreetly accesses a scanner, edits Phil's list, and adds Traveler to it, using a blind spot in the surveillance system. However, Traveler detects the deception and orders Ethan to be stopped. The hacker positions a sniper rifle, and a red dot appears on Nora's head, forcing Ethan to continue cooperating. In the restroom, Ethan and Traveler fight. Though Traveler is faster, Ethan manages to grab the gun. Realizing his plan has failed, Traveler activates a device, setting a 10-minute timer for a bomb that will kill everyone in the building. The only way to stop it is to physically disarm the bomb. Ethan must choose between sacrificing 256 passengers on the plane or saving the airport, which holds 10,000 people. He rushes to the observation room where Phil is located. Traveler wants him to kill his boss, but Ethan refuses. Traveler takes matters into his own hands, but it turns out Phil is also a hostage with an earbud in his ear. Ethan opens the bag with only 3 minutes remaining and manages to disarm the device at the last second. Paramedics examine Alani's body and discover a cut through which a heart-stopping substance was introduced. Elena confirms that something serious is happening at the airport. Meanwhile, 4 Marines are on a plane heading to testify about an incident in Aleppo. An employee recalls that the government sent an agent to retrieve information. His name is Oakland, and he is already on his way to the station. However, Elena realizes Oakland is not who he claims to be. She draws her gun, and a fight breaks out. During the chase, an accident occurs. After regaining her composure, she reports the attack and commandeers a civilian's car. The criminal contacts Motto to take the final step. Fortunately for Ethan, there is a mirror nearby, and he spots the gun. A fight ensues and both men fall onto the conveyor belt leading to the scanner. The device detects a suspicious substance in Motto's bag. Unaware that prolonged use of a plastic gun can cause it to overheat and explode, Motto inadvertently destroys himself. With the time he has, Ethan sends a message to Teddy, warning him about a criminal targeting Nora. Traveler has already dealt with a police officer and stolen a master key, granting him access to the entire airport. He sneaks into the storage area, locates Ethan using a tracker, and opens fire, wounding him. Taking cover around a corner, Ethan finds an identical suitcase, switches the label, and leaves it in the hallway. Nora spots Traveler. Teddy advises her to run to the police, promising to hold the criminal off. A grave mistake. Elena finds Ethan and initially suspects he is working with the criminals. Ethan has to push her aside and explain which flight Traveler is boarding. Moments later, Ethan runs to Nora. Hackers appear, threatening their lives, but a hostage in a car manages to free himself and retrieve a sniper rifle. The woman who gave Ethan the earpiece turns out to be an accomplice of the criminals. She had handed Traveler the necessary ticket. Traveler boards the flight and realizes the suitcase label has been switched. An employee scans the code and the suitcase is entered into the database. Now, Ethan knows its location. Elena discovers that a congresswoman traveling under her maiden name to avoid attention is on the same flight as Traveler. The congresswoman, a prominent figure in the Democracy Foundation, an organization tied to weapons manufacturers, is the target. The criminals plan to eliminate her using Nava and blame the Russians. Elena wants to ground the plane, but Nora pleads against it, fearing that if the criminal realizes he's been exposed, he might activate the bomb. Ethan secretly disarms the device thanks to a slight delay. He descends into the luggage hold, where Traveler confronts him. After a brief struggle, Traveler wounds Ethan. Motion sensors detect activity, forcing the pilots to turn the plane around. Ethan distracts Traveler and at an opportune moment reveals vials of Nava. He traps Traveler in an airtight container, leaving behind a grim twist of fate. Once on the ground, Traveler's fate is sealed. Ethan informs Elena that both Nava and Traveler are now secured in a cold storage unit. The movie ends with Ethan, Nora, and their child heading off on vacation. True to his promise, Ethan also returns to the police academy to fulfill his dreams. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video.